see the all-new Mazda CX-90, now on sale at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
That would be concerning and maybe set a precedent moving forward.
If you have plans to be outside, you might hit a couple of these little passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here.
You're all worked up over here, Caparata. Come on. What's the deal? What's the deal?
Hot and bothered with all these hot temperatures, Johnny?
Well, he's got almost triple digits on my little weather app.
I know.
It's like, come on.
But you notice I don't have them there yet.
No, thank you. Thank you very much.
It's been cooler.
It's maybe trying
to your credit.
A little optimism.
Yeah.
Just forcing it into reality.
Yes.
We're not gonna make it
Yes.
He said earlier this morning, I ain't doing it. Can't do it. You just can't proceed.
Welcome to WAFB Plus and 9 News Now, everybody, where we will bend reality into our own reality. What is it from Mythbusters? I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Yes.
I tell you what, though, whether you think that triple digits, you get 99 or 100, I guess it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So that's looking ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
Today's going to be hot,
Oh, yeah.
just not that hot as of yet. It's going to be similar to what we had yesterday. Starting out pretty nice this morning right now. We've seen some high clouds overhead kind of filtering the sunshine. That's the view from Port Allen over downtown Baton Rouge right now. But it's dry to start out here in the capital city as well. Temperature-wise, Baton Rouge, Hammond 75, Gonzales at 76. Our first alert, radar network, a little bit noisy. This is clutter inland right now, some storms offshore, but what I did want to show you is we do have some showers here in western Louisiana dropping down to the southeast. So some of those could start to move in later this morning. I'll give you a look at that on Futurecast in just a moment. Temperature-wise, up around 90 at noon. The high today, 93, 94, right around where we were yesterday. And rain chances running about 30% around Metro Baton Rouge, probably a little bit higher than that south of the capital city. So here's the HRRR. It's got a little bit of that rain out west, kind of underdoing it a bit, but it does pick up on the idea that it continues to drop to the southeast, so that by noon we could have a few showers around here locally, a few more dropping southeastward into the afternoon at 3 o'clock. Good news here is it's not showing anything terribly intense through mid-afternoon. Does hint at a couple of stronger storms later in the day, especially south of I-10, similar to yesterday. And then as we get into the evening, things begin to settle down. So more about that heat. We were talking about maybe upper 90s to near 100 into next week. And then the heat index is really going to start to climb as well. Today, tomorrow, not such an issue, peaking 100, maybe up to about 105, but by Saturday starting to climb, and especially by Sunday into early next week, those numbers could hit 110 and above. All right, still lots to talk about in the tropics. The good news is no real threats to our part of the world, but this is Tropical Storm Brett. Behind it now, newly formed Tropical Depression number 4. Another wave behind it. The model's not too bullish on that one. We'll keep an eye on it. As of the 7 a.m. update, Brett has 70-mile-per-hour winds, just shy of hurricane intensity, but it's quite possible that Brett peaked in intensity overnight, should weaken as it heads into the Caribbean over the next couple of days. And then Tropical Depression number 4, this is the first time on record we've had 2 tropical systems form east of the Caribbean in the month of June. Very unusual. Could become Tropical Storm Cindy, but also forecast to weaken on down the line a bit. So while we're tracking a couple of systems, good news is no major threats. So no major changes in our weather through Saturday, but look at the numbers Sunday, 97 for a high. And there you see it, not quite putting the triple digits up there just yet, but it will be dangerous heat and also some mainly dry weather into next week. Johnny?
It's just crazy hot. In fact, my neighbors don't even put their sprinkler out anymore when I'm home. They say they put it out in the morning because they don't want to burn their grass. They just don't want me running through it. I know what you guys. No, I know what you guys are doing.
Busted.
Good call, neighbors.
You know what you guys are doing. I get asked all the time, when's the widening project going to start? Hey, it has started. Both sides of the interstate from downtown to the 1012 merge. Dalrymple has a lot of activity on both sides of the interstate. If you get off and you go from Park Boulevard and make your way onto Dalrymple, a lot of cones and narrow roadways, so just be aware of that. Obviously at the 1012 merge we have a lot of traffic. This is going to be a major deal when they start to reroute I-12, because that's going to be the exit that goes right down, and you see there's no elevated portion right there. It's going to be going right down. So that's going to become the exit for I-12, and they're going to probably reroute I-12 to get way out of the way of the College Drive off-ramp. Drive times aren't looking too bad this morning. We're starting to see a little slowdown coming out of Denham Springs. That's normal this morning. 15 minutes is actually pretty good from Jubin to the 1012. No wrecks on the board right now of significance, so we'll keep an eye on all of that. Right now it's high and dry too, and hot. We'd like to kind of give you a recap of what you might have missed in the busy hecticness of your morning on our early show from 5 to 7. So we do that every morning and capsule it right here. Liz and Matt do that. Liz, Matt?
That's the goal, Johnny, to try to keep people informed as they start their day here, especially if you don't wake up in the early hours where you catch the early edition to the big show. That's the goal of this. 15 minutes to encapsulate the morning.
Real quick. This is what a lot of the world is focused on right now. The headline making global headlines. That missing submersible. The search and rescue efforts underway still for the 5 people on board. And Liz, the timing right now, right? This is that very critical time.
We're getting to that point where that 40 hours we once told you about of oxygen left, well, that is dwindling. They're saying tomorrow would be the ultimate day, but we're keeping our eyes on this spot as international search crews are now searching for those 5 people on board that submersible. More
and more equipment getting out into that part of the world. We'll keep you updated. So that's the global headline, right? In our little part of the world, here in the southern part of the country, storms rolling through. And some of these storms are in the summer months. They can get intense quick. They can bring tornadoes, and it sure did to parts of Texas.
That's why we're bringing you to northern Texas, the small town of Matador. 4 people killed after another round of some deadly storms. And Matt, we saw some drone video this morning of nothing but lined up of fire emergency officials, police emergency, just trying to find people at that point. And this morning we've known at least 4 people were killed, but this is what the folks who are survivors, this is what they're waking up to. So a lot to deal with right there. The road ahead just beginning. It's going to be a long one for them. So that's Texas, right? Yeah. Do you remember last Friday? It was last Friday that line of storms kind of came through and clipped a good part of northwestern Louisiana, knocked out power for a while, still dealing with power outages up there. A heat-related death because of that. The Caddo Parish coroner in North Louisiana confirming a heat-related death. That area had gone without power for so long. Exactly. A 62-year-old woman, Miss Tina Parrott, was found inside her home without power. So this coming out from LDH saying that this is the first heat-related confirmed death related to those storms last week. I was looking at the power outages up there still right now in Caddo alone. It's still about 18,000 customers, and they list them by customers, so it's every meter, right? Which 1 meter could be a house, could be a business. So they say 18,000 customers, so you're talking tens and tens of thousands of people, right? And so they still got a ways to go up there. Caddo Parish, but a death related to those storms passing through. So when we talk about storms down here, we know all about how nasty they can be, from floods to tornadoes to hurricanes. Getting ready for them, that's the challenge in a lot of spots. Especially because we know our area, our part of the world, has dealt with a number of flooding issues, right? We saw it in 2016. We saw it many times after a couple of big major rainstorms moved through our area. So Callie Hubbard checked in with the Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, the director, Mark Harrell, in Livingston Parish. He showed her a visible map of all of the ditch and drainage sites they've cleared out. But remember, this goes hand in hand with what everyday people, with residents, what they do, right? So the onus is on you to make sure your yard is clear. Make sure the ditches are clear on a regular basis, not just when we know a storm is coming. Yeah, it was a pretty good visual, that map. It showed what creeks have been worked on, what's still to come, that kind of thing. But yeah, there are things that we can do to make sure they don't end up in the ditch, right? So if you'd like to see the story and hear a little bit more about what's going on there, see the map that we're talking about, it's right there waiting for you, WAFB.com. We have talked about this for a long time. When was the last time, Liz Coe, you wrote down some calculus, needed to do it in your day-to-day? Junior year of high school. There you go. I have never had to use calculus ever. I got taught it in high school, never had to use it, not once, not one time. This kind of stuff would be kind of nice to know. Can you believe it? So starting with the class of 2028, so that's any 9th grader that's going to start high school in 2024 to 2025, you will be required to take a financial literacy course before graduating. So we're talking balancing your checkbook, understanding how credit card interest works, understanding how money and loans and debt works. All of that is vital information that no matter what industry you go into, whether you graduate college or not, this is going to help you out. Real world math. Yes. Usable. Absolutely. Finance.
Can't wait to see that actually happen. Okay, well, speaking of money, there's going to be a refund going forward here for folks who bought tickets to what was supposed to be a pretty big soccer game in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, Sunday night FIFA exhibition match was going to come to Baton Rouge.
FIFA.
Yeah, big deal. And a lot of people were excited about this, bought tickets for it. It was supposed to be at the Olympia Stadium, but we've just learned that the Honduran team complained about some of the conditions, the playing conditions, and had a list of things that they'd like to be fixed. Well, all of those demands and asks were not completed, so that game was there and canceled. A lot of people finding out about that the night before. So if you're thinking, well, I bought a ticket, am I going to get my money back? They say you will, in fact, get your refund.
You will. On the way. On the way. Let's talk about this right here. The Doug Williams Youth Football Camp, right? We talked about it this morning. The reason we talked about it this morning is it's not actually happening until July of this year, but big day today for it.
Registration opens for this. If you've got a youngin who likes football, who wants to learn from NFL pros, a youngin. That's all of us. You're considered a youngin. You can join this Breck camp. You have to sign up today, though, Matt. I'm telling you, you might be some of the practice. I do
the practice dummy out there.
Careful,
absolutely.
Careful.
But right there, the link waiting for you to register. Speaking of sports, it's all about baseball right now in Omaha. Of course, our Jacques Doucet up there just killing it with this coverage. And he gets to do more of it because LSU's alive.
I tell you what, we're staying alive for another day. And look, if you don't follow Jacques on Twitter, you need to. He posts this after every time because, of course, the loyal Tiger followers are up there. I tell you what, he's got the great coverage, and he's got more live coverage today because LSU stays alive another day. And I really think it's because you guys are rocking the LSU ties every day this week.
Matt wins the tie competition today. He absolutely knocked it out.
Come on now, perfect.
That's
I mean, it's a good ensemble.
He's got the fleur-de-lis and the purple and gold.
I do like
Tigers.
I love that.
You win.
But we'll see. We hope that we're wearing it again tomorrow, looking ahead to a busy week.
And yeah, a lot of talk today. Is it going to be skiing, which is what I think most people believe it's going to be. But I saw Alden Cartwright, former LSU pitcher, tweeting out last night. He's like, it's not a given. Don't take for granted. They're probably going to assess how he feels today and talk about it. So we'll see. Yeah, it's a lot to juggle.
But wouldn't we want him in the weekend?
Well, again,
yes, you do, but you got to get to the weekend. That's tough.
That's why we don't get paid to do that job. We're just sitting and waiting and cheering them on from here at home.
Give that decision to Jay and Wes Johnson over there in Omaha. Their weather's okay? Going to be okay in Omaha?
Yeah, it looks very similar. So you'll probably hear the announcers again talking about the wind, although the wind speed might be a little bit lower, but it may be kind of blowing in, and then it was blowing out towards right last night. So, but you see those balls towards the alley, center, left. Good luck trying to get it out. Here, building heat again into the weekend.
There you go.
Be safe, be careful, and we'll see you again in a little bit. 10 minutes for your news, weather, and traffic headlines. In the meantime, go Tigers.
You could be driving smooth handling and smart interior styling. Just two reasons why the all-new Honda CR-V was once again named a Car and Driver's 10 Best Trucks and SUV list. Come see your new CR-V today at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Seagan Lane.